Welcome back to John Cain Arena. We are here on Wurundjeri country. Welcome to all of our international viewers. It's the Collingwood Magpies up against the Melbourne Vixens. And it's a derby that always brings a whole lot of spice. Everyone wants bragging rights here in Victoria. Both of these teams, and can you believe it? Caitlin Thwaites head to head. It's 8 to the Vixens, 5 to the Magpies. But last season, really, you couldn't split them. They won one each.
You absolutely couldn't split them. And let's not forget that final game where the two of them played in round 14. It was do or die for the Magpies to try and get into the final. They lost the game, but they snuck themselves into the top 4 for the finals. It was an exciting battle.
Let's take a look at how the teams are lining up with our Woolworths team cards. As you can see, the Melbourne Vixens coming back out onto court.
We've got the Vixens line up there. Old trusty attack line there with Liz Watson in the centre. Kate Maloney Liz Watson in wing attack. Kate Maloney in centre. The defence end, though, is where we see a little bit of a change. Emily Mannix at goal defence. Liv Lewis taking the goalkeeper bib. Obviously, they've got their huge depth on the bench with Hannah Mundy there, could shift things around, and Jo Weston, a huge in for the Vixens.
And if we quickly have a look at the Magpies lineup, no changes there. The exact team that finished their brilliant win is in round 1 is starting off the same game in round 2. The Vixens, ball in hand, centre pass, about to happen here at John Cain Arena. You can see the players on your screen jostling for position, and we're away. Austin to Mannix. Kumwenda out of the circle, that moving shooting circle, different for the Magpies.
Jovic with the challenge around the circle edge, but Lizzie Watson, doesn't she find her way? She cuts and drives all the way to that circle edge where she calls it home right there. An early miss from Kumwenda. Quite often see her have that big breath. Settle yourself into the game.
And the Vixens are on the scoreboard. Eddie, Brown, that combination and that matchup, keep an eye out for that one. Brown so instrumental for the Magpies in attack. She's the playmaker, she's the leader, she's the one that wants the ball in hand.
And she's just so quick, isn't she? It's going to be a huge task for Kate Eddy to try and have some kind of an impact on slowing down Kelsey Brown today.
Watson to Maloney, back play, double play. Oh, and a quick 1-2 from Austin Kumwenda.
I like the fact that Kira Austin just then was that third point of the triangle between the midi, and that quick shooter to shooter opens up the angle.
Magpies away quickly. Contact call against Kate Eddy. Forcing the penalty, the Magpies bringing it in close under the post. Shimona Nelson, her first.
Interesting, we're seeing the Vixens go back on that centre pass, having that first phase shut down quite well by the Magpies defence.
Quick movement from Wenda. Can't get her balance.
And Brazil just jumping all over that loose ball. You can see the intent from the very start of this game.
You've played in these games many times. What's it like to be out there on court?
You definitely want to make your presence known in that first 5 minutes. The physicality, as we see a challenge from Emily Mannix on Nelson. The physicality there, you don't want to take a step back in these first minutes of the game. Another centre pass going backdoor from the Vixens.
Magpies defence, keeping the Vixens in short, not giving them the space or the run. They find the space now. Kumwenda splits the Magpies defenders.
And a beautiful fake from Kate Maloney then, just to open that one up.
Jovic to Brazil, to Brown. See Nelson's arm up in the background. She wanted it high.
Such great vision as we take a look at the Harvey Norman replay. Great vision from the midcourt. Always looking straight to the post, straight to that goal shooter.
Ward just down on the centre pass. She's back up, she's running, she nearly flies. Kawenda hesitant, but quick, smart pass to Austin.
Isn't it impressive to see already some of these challenges? That physicality early as we see Kate Maloney chase after a loose ball.
Maloney urging her team, come forward, come forward. They want to keep the momentum. Watson. Let's cross over to Maddie. What are you noticing about the Vixens' attack?
Well, you were talking about the Magpies' defence trying to keep them in short, but what you know Vixens are really good at is that high possession netball, so they don't mind being pushed into small areas. What I would like to see is a little bit more separation on the centre pass from Watson and Austin, having a little bit more depth to have one over the line.
What are you liking, Maddie, out there in terms of matchups? Where are you seeing the intensity?
Oh, just even in that setup there, we saw Watson stay off. The intensity is all on that first ball, so you can see it from both teams. They're attacking that first ball nice and strong, so maybe a little bit more prelim work and less contested balls.
Kumwenda, 5 from 6. Vixens, they're out by 3. Nelson wants it high, gets it high.
Again with the vision from Kelsey Brown. Straight into Nelson.
We spoke about pre-game the matchup of Olivia Lewis on Shimona Nelson. She was used to Fowler in round 1 for the Fever, having to sit in front of her. Is it a different game plan against Shimona Nelson, or is it the same?
They do play slightly differently. Obviously, Nelson really comfortable finding that body. She's trying to find that body to secure that space for herself and the space for the feed to drop into. So, yes, it is a bit of a different game. Liv Lewis will probably see her playing a little bit of cat and mouse here at times, wanting that ball to go and then trying to have a contest once it does go.
The pressure from the Vixens has come in defence. They force the turnover.
5.
Mannix and Garvin jostling for front position.
Interesting, we've seen the Magpies put on a full court zone previously, but they're sticking really hard one-on-one from this backline throw-in.
Mannix.
Potentially looking for that zone to have an impact when they change it up.
Huge drive from Watson to find the space to pull it in.
The 2-on-1 in there with Kumwenda under all sorts of pressure.
What a play from the Vixens. Kumwenda struggling to keep it in. There's a penalty. They get the shot. Let's take a look at the Harvey Norman replay. Oh,
And the Falcon.
Kumwenda, smart play by Kumwenda. Just tap it in off Jiva's head. The penalty happened earlier, so it was back in play.
I think Kumwenda just copped one of those herself, straight through the hands.
As we see the court just getting mopped. Bodies on the line. It's a 4-goal lead to the Vixens. 8 minutes to play in the first, plenty of time. Oh, Jodie Ann Ward picks up off the ground.
How was that outside arm from Jodie Ann Ward? Making sure that she didn't contact, just stole it off the ground. Magpies are back into attack.
Ward to Garvin.
Contact centre.
What a drive from Brown. Her speed off the mark to find the top of the circle.
Centre, you're out of play.
Up over the top to Nelson. We saw that a lot in round 1. I'm predicting we're going to see that a lot in round 2. Have a look at this from Jodie Ann Ward on our Harvey Norman replay.
Timeout.
Just gets her footwork around. Calm and composed. We see a HCF tactical timeout called by the Magpies. We're going to try and take a listen
My way.
into Nicole Richardson. Last week they were ahead at this stage in their game. Only 3 the difference.
1 and 2, when we get it wide, we want someone hitting transfers wide. Just make sure we've got something there. Down here, she is so whistle happy, right? So we just have to adjust a little bit. I want you to play further in front of them to stay in play. Yeah, play further in front, make them go over the top to bring in the fly from the back. See how that goes. If you need to adjust that, then look to play a box. So just we get off the body a little bit. We need to build pressure. We need to stay in play. Okay, let's go. Now, not waiting, all right? We've got to attack this game. Come on, this is where we're at. Let's go, guys, all right?
Well, there you have it. Nicole Richardson does not hold back. What an incredible insight, Katie.
Yeah, look, she's talking about wanting to try to build that pressure. When the umpires are making the calls, it lets off that accumulative pressure that the defence end are creating. So just asking her players to take that step off. She's hoping to force some balls into the pockets, which might leave them to be eaten up by Jiva at the back there.
I'm going to come back to you about the whistle-happy comment that we just heard, but let's go over to Maddie. What were you hearing in the Vixens?
Well, it was a really big defensive focus from Coach McInnes. She was talking about that defensive unit and making sure that they actually step up rather than waiting for those players to come to them, take away their space, take away their time, even asking for Watson and Austin to flood down and really stick nice and tight on that Magpies centre pass as well. So defensive is a real focus for them. The attack will just continue to flow.
Both teams wanting to apply the pressure. From Wenda. Resets to Eddie.
And that beautiful space up the middle from Kira Austin just opens it right up.
Garvin out on the centre pass. Allows Kelsey Brown the easy second phase. Again, Nelson, arm up in the air. She wants it up and over. Not much else you can do if you Liv Lewis. She's in the right position. Just can't quite get it yet.
It is so hard to stop, especially when that feed is coming from circle edge.
Watson gives it straight to Ward. She makes it look so easy, Jodie-Ann Ward.
It's not what you want, is it? We're throwing the ball straight to the opponent, adding to their stats list. But Jodie-Ann, I think, will be more than happy to take it.
She creates doubt. You don't realise that she's going to actually stay in that same position. As the Jamaican down the other end of the court is doing just as much damage. 6 from 6 for Shimona Nelson. Have a look at this Harvey Norman replay. She's hedging one way, she steals it the other way. 1 goal, the difference. Quick play. Garvin to Brown, back to Garvin.
You can see Garvin just take a quick little glimpse up at the clock there, trying to play it around until maybe super shot time.
We are not in Power 5 yet, but we have 5 seconds until we are. That was worth 1. Of course, the Power 5. You can hear the siren. Everything in the Suncorp Super Shot zone. The white arc on your court is worth 2. Jovic all over Maloney.
Wing attack. Contact. Yes, wing attack. Varnish not out, wing attack.
Brazel to Ward. Jovic can't handle it. Eddie throws it in.
And Mannix with the backup. Turnover here for the Vixens. This was an area last week that they weren't so effective at scoring off their turnovers. So let's see what they can do here.
Maloney looks one way. The Vixens have got the fakes happening. Across to Watson. Can they find an into the circle? It's a penalty. Austin steps in, thinks about the pass. Why wouldn't you shoot it?
Here at Austin sitting at 3 from 3.
It's a HCF tactical timeout. We often get that tactical timeouts called right on the Power 5, and this time it's the Vixens. We'll take a listen into the Vixens huddle. Noticing that Simone McInnes, the coach of the Vixens, is just happy to sit back. She's getting up now, allowing the team to problem solve.
Everyone in touch. Another one. Great hustling and each other runs down there. That was good stuff. Just watch West kick. Don't always have to be too much movement. So you're both moving a lot. So you can be holding, watching, and get that movement to work. And you know, give and goes and don't go right as well. So balance out with right and depth and go. Let's go. Bring it in. We know they're playing for two, so if you're ready to look at it. Yeah, all right. We're in control. We can just play our game, all right? Let's go. Play our game. 6 on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We know they're playing for two. They think the Magpies are going to take the super shots when they get the opportunity. Let's cross down to Maddie Brown. Is that their plan?
Yeah, I was just listening to the Magpies huddle, and Coach Richardson, she just said in attack, use the ball a little bit smarter. I want some fakes. I want to see those defenders' head move, shift, and a real key to isolate Nelson under the post with Lewis. So Garvin, you can see her hanging a little bit higher out to try and catch that isolation off.
And I'm noticing just behind you, Maddie, Kelly Singleton is warming up in the background. We know that she can shoot a super shot. It's a stepping call against Eddie, and the Magpies back into attack. Can they find Nelson? They want Nelson. It's a double defense from the Vixens.
And when there's that double, seeing Garvin get herself into that circle, it's going to pull one of those two defenders off. We see the first super shot for Garvin.
Trying their hardest to deny Garvin that, but she took the opportunity. She was 6 from 7 Suncorp super shots in round 1. And her first one for the game. Maloney straight to Austin, cuts down the baseline.
A beautiful move there, but just a little bit of timing out from the Vixens in that attack end. We heard Simone McInnes ask, oh, the big fly comes from Liv Lewis. Missed that one. And Garvin lighting up her second super shot.
Look at our Harvey Norman replay here. As you can see, Liv go flying. Just mistimed it. 2 goals the difference. The Magpies in the lead. Oh, she mistimed the first one. She got the timing spot on for the second one. Olivia Lewis has come to play.
And Jodie Ann Ward just with another challenge there, leaves Jiva Mentor back in the circle with 2 attackers, and Kira Austin answers.
2 minutes to play in the first, as you see Liv Lewis saying, I'm not going to let you get any more. Sophie Garvin, I'm right here. So scores are even, just over 2 minutes to play.
Isn't it interesting to see these defence ends, both of them, the Magpies sitting off, having a fly at things, and down at the Vixens end saying, actually, well, I can do that too.
Ball on the ground. Garvin gets hands in, up, over the top. Nelson, 1. Of course she gets that. 100% shooting for Shimona Nelson. Under 2 minutes to play. The Magpies, they lead by 1. What can the Vixens do? Eddie, long to Austin.
A beautiful double play there from Kira Austin, with Lizzie Watson just working that ball, and the final dish off to Kumwenda under the post.
Scores are even on the clock. 1:25. Brown up, over, beats the double defence.
Obstruction, go defence. This side.
Garvin making a move for the 2.
Strategic play from the Magpies. Doesn't work for them this time.
It's in centre.
They will get another shot.
On the end.
Penalty taken by Jovic. We're now under a minute to play. There's 55 seconds left. The Magpies, they lead by 1. Can the Vixens even it out? No, they can't. It's a contact call against Kira Austin.
40 seconds on the clock. Let's see if the Magpies try to eat up that time on the clock.
Jovic to Garvin, to Brown. Up, over the top.
Kelsey Brown with that timing of that drive just to punch straight to circle edge. Enough time on the clock for another one.
And she doesn't just do it once. Look at that. With only a couple of seconds, it gets back into Nelson. They nail another shot. We've only got 5 seconds to play.
Brown desperate to see the Vixens have to take this centre pass so they get the ball back in the start of quarter 2.
The Vixens try and do the same. They can't quite make the impact on the scoreboard. It's 3 goals the difference here at John Cain Arena. The Magpies leading the charge.
Welcome back to John Cain Arena. I'm here with a very special guest of Fox Sports, Sarah Jones. You're a Vixens ambassador as well, but you bring your girls to the netball. What do you love about the netball so much?
I have loved netball my entire life. I grew up in Echuca playing, coaching and umpiring. I lived at the netball courts and my girls have just started playing. They're 6 and 8 and they are Vixens obsessed. Liz Watson, Kate Maloney, Joe Weston, they're mega heroes in our household. So I love bringing them along and being able to see these girls strut their stuff out on the court.
And you said that you're a Echuca girl. Were you fangirling out the front at the gold statue of Cheryl McMahon? Was she your hero growing up?
Oh, absolutely. Every little girl growing up in Echuca wanted to be like Cheryl. I would have loved to have had the career that Cheryl McMahon had. Sadly, not the talent, but I'm enjoying watching my girls play every weekend. It is pure joy. It's the highlight of my weekend. Netball is a wonderful sport, and these girls out here are the best ambassadors. As a mum, you couldn't ask for better role models.
Well, we've got to get back to the action, Says. They are waiting on call for us. Back to you, Bianca. And go the Vixens, I think, for Says.
Yeah. Thanks, Maddie. That was quarter time, brought to you by Origin Energy. The 3 goals, the difference. The Magpies are in the lead. They're also in charge of the centre pass. As we see the Vixens bringing on some more power in defence. Joe Weston has taken the court. Her first time back from injury since she didn't play Team Girls Cup. She's had a lot of calf niggles and she is back.
She's back out on court, and no surprises that they've left Liv Lewis out there. She's had 2 intercepts in that first quarter and made a real impact against this Magpies attack line. So let's see what Joe Weston can do coming back out on court.
No changes for the Magpies, no surprises at all. The Vixens, what can they do?
Contact advantage offside with the centre.
Watson, easy one to Kumwenda. Double jump from Mentor, puts the pressure on early.
Great rebound from Kumwenda, and usually as a shooter, when the shot's a little bit off, you actually know from the feeling. As we see another long ball go straight over the top to Nelson. They're not afraid to throw that long pass in, are they, B? I think the change that I've seen so far this season is that it is executed so well. Last year we saw a lot of those balls go flying out the back. This year they're really measured.
What is it between a wing attack and a goal shooter? Is it the eye contact that you just have the faith? Is that what you turned and looked at when you were holding, you wanted to see the feeder?
Absolutely, but also playing with one of the best over there on the sideline, Maddie Brown, made my job really easy. When you see your wing attacks attacking that circle, it's so much easier to get the timing of your hold when you're taking that off the timing of your wing attack who's charging at that circle.
That's what's so impressive from Kelsey Brown. Before she even has the ball in hand, she's already planned what she wants to do. She checks if it's free first, then she looks at another option.
And it's about that preparation, right? Preparing the space, but you want to be catching the ball, not taking your defender right to it.
4 goals the difference. Austin, quick one out to Watson. Kumwenda, short step in, makes this one.
Kumwenda's 11th for the game so far.
Brown, there we go, straight into Nelson. There's a contact call though. Great work from Olivia Lewis. Weston doing some work in the mid-court, helping out the Vixens in attack. They do have patience in their play. Garvin pleading with the umpire. She was knocked down as the Vixens throw a wayward pass. Di Honey, they're the assistant coach for the Vixens, not happy with that one, and why would you be?
Potentially some of that frustration of just being held up, all of a sudden getting a clear shot and taking a bit more of a risk.
Magpies just using this time to settle. Here's our Harvey Norman replay of the clash between Ward and Watson. Brazel to start us off. There's Nicole Richardson looking quite relaxed. Huge drive from Brown, huge ball to Nelson. It just seems effortless from the Magpies attack.
I love seeing what Sophie Garvin's doing out the front there too. Braz pleads with the umpire, tries to change her mind.
Why wouldn't you give it a go? Mads, what do you think the Magpies need to do? Sorry, what do you think the Vixens need to do in attack?
Well, I think it comes down to something that you were chatting to them a little bit earlier in this week, B, and that's the timing. They're a little bit too early onto the ball. It's their preparation to get on board. What they're not actually doing well is converting off their game possession. They were low on that stat last week. So I'm sure that if they are getting these balls, because they are hard to come by off the Magpies, they really need to convert and make the most of these opportunities when they come.
The Vixens. Here's one of those opportunities right now after a loose ball. Transition again, getting held up a little bit from the Vixens. Let's see if they've got the patience to work it through.
Austin was all alone in the circle. They missed it, but now they find Kumwenda.
With 2-on-1.
Jump from Ward, not enough.
It's almost the Collingwood defenders asking the question, Kira Austin, can you shoot that one?
100% shooting from that lady on your screen, Kira Austin. It's a HCF tactical timeout. It's been called by the Magpies. The Magpies, 2 goals up. Let's take a listen to their coach, Nicole Richardson.
I don't want you sinking, right? Kip's handling, she's the playmaker. I want you to get up on her and I want you to work her hard. First phase, centre pass. Second phase, in transition space. If Kip receives the ball in and around the circle edge, I'm happy for you to sag back and create the 2-on-1 there, but then you must step back up on and meet her. Yeah, don't sink back and help G. You've got yours under control, right? Keep working on that. I want you to do the work on Kip. Okay, no sinking back. Let's go. Once you get caught on the wide open, just step right across. Don't even they're stagnant. So now have a look. I feel like I'm covering her and then it's like the last. So defend for 4 seconds. Yeah. I reckon you shut her down, find a body angle there, play on the midline. Let's go, guys, Let's go.
I enjoy the conversation, the access that we get right here, live and exclusive on Fox Netball, into the huddles. Katie Nicole Richardson, she's got a plan of attack. She wants it executed.
Absolutely, and that was what we chatted about in the pre-game about Jodie Ann Ward needing to be kept accountable from Kira Austin. Kira Austin's doing enough damage in that playmaking role at the moment that Nicole Richardson's asking Jodie Ann Ward not to float off, not to sag back into space, but to find Kira Austin and hassle her, give her that hard time.
You heard Nicole Richardson refer to her as Kip. That's her nickname, just in case you were wondering who she was talking about. Kumwenda brings the score back. Won the difference here at John Cain Arena. Quick play, quick hands. The Magpies want to get this started. They want to get it under the post as quickly as they can. Catching the Vixens off guard, but the hands are up from the Vixens. They can't secure the turnover.
It's a fair amount of body on body in there, these physical athletes.
Let's take a look at the Nissan net points. The leader, Kelsey Brown on 40. The top three, the Magpies with Ward and Nelson. Then Austin and Maloney for the Vixens. Don't forget the Nissan net points, they change. You do something well, you get some points. You do something not so well, like a turnover, then you're going to lose some points. So it's all accumulated as the game is in progress.
And Kelsey Brown leading there. She's got 16 feeds there for the Magpies. Obviously causing a lot of that damage in the goal assists. Also running that centre pass. It's Kate Eddy's job to try and shut her down.
Austin to Watson, back to Austin. Patience from the Vixens, but it doesn't pay off. Mentor to Jovic. Ward in attack to Garvin. Here they go. Up to Jovic up to Nelson from Jovic.
And beautiful use of that centre channel there. We saw Kelsey Brown go quite wide, which opened up the space for Jovic. That's what we spoke about again in the pre-game, was Kelsey Brown being the playmaker. She's the one that goes hard. Jovic fills that space. She did that so nicely, hitting the top of the circle just then.
Contact call against Kate Eddy. A chance for Brown to feed it. Jo Weston got herself in the right position.
Kate Eddy with her hands in on that feed, just a touch too short.
Eddy, one intercept, two deflections to her name.
Vixens being quite disruptive in this play, but also pulling a lot of those contacts, obstructions, just letting that pressure off.
It's a 2-on-1. Ward and Jovic both on Kira Austin.
An Austin sandwich.
Maloney, back to Eddy. The Magpies sitting off in a block. Ash Brazel not happy with the call. It's okay, Brazel, your team are leading by 4. Austin, calm. She makes this one count. Let's look at Harvey Norman replay. I mean, to me, that is a contact call against Ash Brazel. Had she used her outside arm, things could have been different. Maloney.
Vixens back into attack here.
Wing attack, just over.
It's the Australian Diamonds mid-court lining up for the Vixens. Also the co-captains, Liz Watson and Kate Maloney.
Whole time centre, it's becoming persistent, it's a caution. With me.
A caution there for the persistent contacts around that circle edge.
So we're going to keep an eye on that matchup. At the moment it's Jovic on Watson, but obviously Jovic on Maloney. A caution already for just the persistent contact and infringement. There's a point where you have to push, but there's a point where you have to pull back.
Absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see Jovic's response here. So we see Kira Austin go down behind play.
Split the circle from the Magpies defenders.
No love lost here, is there?
And it's a contest on the ball. Everyone wants the ball, but it's how you manoeuvre your body and your angles that helps you get it smartly. And that's what we saw from the Magpies defenders in round 1, was their smart positioning.
You want to use your body positioning to protect the space for the ball to come in. And we actually heard one of the coaches earlier just mention, let's get that ball undefended. We see the replay there, the Harvey Norman replay.
Let's cross over to Maddie. You spoke about it in pre-game, Maddie, the difference for the Magpies defenders to come up against a moving attack. How are you noticing how it's playing out?
Well, they're actually forcing Vixens quite wide, and what I'd love to see them is coming into that middle channel and working together as units or combinations. So the wing attack and goal attack of Watson and Austin kind of drawing on that channel, that middle channel. As you mentioned, the Magpies are dominating it. You can see their timing is on. They've got one going, then the next one filling. So Vixens just a little bit stagnant, and the Magpies doing well in herding them into areas that are making them uncomfortable.
You're holding on to her.
And it's only 2 goals the difference. We're in the Power 5. Anything can happen right now. But it feels like the Magpies have the momentum. But the Vixens are certainly not far away. They bring it back to within 1. Brown looks long to Garvin. Can't get it there. The Magpies reset. Jovic up over the top to Nelson. Such strong hands from the Magpies shooter.
We just saw a bit of a change up there in the Vixens defence end with a box defence. We saw one of the Collingwood players drive up the middle and about 3 players close onto that, trying to force a wider entry. You see a beautiful long pass into Kamwenda on the baseline. Lovely timed move.
Ward to Brown. Hands over, one-on-one defence right now from the Vixens. They're splitting it in the circle.
Dropping back in, so
creating doubt, but you can't create doubt when that is such an accurate feed.
And such strong hands from Nelson, going up with that one, ripping it into 2 hands.
2 goals the difference at John Cain Arena. The Melbourne derby is in action. Austin finds Kamwenda up and over the top of Ward. One goal the difference. Just under 2.5 minutes in the second.
The Vixens defence here, just forcing the Magpies all into those wide channels.
Just outside the circle. Keeper.
Obviously, when they're playing in those wide channels, it creates longer passes, which means that the Vixens can have a bit more of a go at having that longer intercept. When they're playing nice and short, it's actually really hard to get yourself in between and to disrupt. So that wide channels. Kelsey Brown likes that one, slaps the hands together.
Sophie Garvin, 3 from 4 Suncorp super shots. Maloney, up, Ward, gets a hand to it. Austin still gains possession. Mentor, all arms over and gets the held ball. The pressure is mounting here at John Cain Arena. The intensity. I can feel the heat coming off the court, Katie, because both teams want this win.
Absolutely, they do.
Jovic holds off Maloney. Back to Brown. You can see Nelson with her arm up. She's got all the space behind her.
Liv Lewis just deciding, come out of the circle, have a crack at that one.
Look at Olivia Lewis's footwork. She is moving quickly. Turns her back to the ball and misses that one. Misses that one because they're watching for the 2. They're looking out to see whether Garvin's going to take the super shot.
And a change in strategy there from Garvin. Smart just to body up on that second phase, allow that ball to come into that space. There's been a lot of running, a lot of hard work. Just allowing that easy pass to go is a really smart move.
Just under 25 seconds in the second.
Contact wing, outside.
Strong take from Watson.
Goalkeeper obstruction with me in the 2. With the goalkeeper.
You can hear the umpire in the 2. Austin says, okay, I'll take it. Can't finish it off.
5 seconds to go. Can they get a final score? No.
It doesn't count for the Vixens. It's a 5-goal lead to the Magpies. You can see the relief on probably every player out there on court that the first half is done. They can reset, they can have a breather. And let's cross down to Maddie Brown.
I'm here with the captain of the Vixens, Liz Watson. Tough first half for you guys. Where are you finding the breakdown happening for the group?
Oh, there's probably a few areas. I think our transition, linking from defence to attack, needs to pick up. And just get off the body. Obviously, they're great defenders. They're coming through everything. They're flying, which is their strength. So I think we're just playing into their strengths too much.
You had a few changes. Do you expect some at half-time for the second half?
Look, not too sure. It's great to see Joe back out there. Emily's been doing amazing too, so she could get a run, but we'll see what they do.
Any key markers for you guys to absolutely dominate in the second half to get the win?
I think a good start, and then just being able to hold that. Obviously, scoreboard pressure, we need to keep ticking that over. But yeah, fingers crossed we can get it done.
Well, all the best for the second half, Liz. Back over to you, Bianca.
Thanks, Maddie. They talk about scoreboard pressure. It's 5 goals the difference. It's not a huge margin, but the Magpies seem to have really gained the momentum.
Yeah, and I think it's been the final couple of minutes of both of those quarters where the Magpies have managed, it's been level pegging the entire quarter. It's those last couple of minutes and the way that they've controlled that has been really impressive for me.
Now, while we see Brazel on the screen talking to the umpires, let's take a look at the match summary. The stats that stand out. What has been the difference between the two teams in the first half?
Well, there's obviously the shooting percentage there. There's a lot of penalties going, 44 penalties for the Magpies, and potentially what Ash Brazel might be talking to the umpires there about. They are drawing the eye of a lot of penalties, but I think what they will need to do is actually find a way to still contest and still be in, but they need to be in play to allow them to apply some pressure.
Well, we're going to analyse everything that's happened in the first half coming up in our halftime show. But don't forget, if you haven't seen it already, Centre Circle is back every Thursday. It's a new look format, lots of debates, lots of discussion, breaking down all the news across the rounds. Then also we have our very own new show, which is the fourth quarter, now available to you on Foxtel and KO. We're featuring some of the most exciting names in the game. And of course, what's on today, that is Pivot. And Pivot is back. It's our fast-paced weekly wrap show straight after the last match of the weekend. You're watching the Magpies taking on the Melbourne Vixens. The Magpies are leading this round 2 derby by 5. It's been hotly contested. There's a lot of spice out there on court, but it certainly has been a game that there's going to be plenty more to come in that second half. Katie, Maddie, let's take a look at some of the highlights. If we focus in on the Magpies attack to start with, again, we've seen exactly what we saw in round 1. That connection between Brown, Nelson, Garvin and Jovic is really on fire.
What I love is the fact that they've been isolating Nelson. We talked about it in the coverage, but isolating Nelson on Lewis underneath the post, Garvin being that feeder and sweeping role a little bit more.
I think she's doing Garvin is doing a great job at keeping that goal defence interested. As soon as the Vixens are dropping 2 defenders back in, she's getting herself into the circle and then drawing them back out to be that third feeder, which is isolating and leaving that one-on-one in the circle.
And it's always dangerous, isn't it, when Garvin is on fire from the super short zone?
Absolutely, and you've even said the work out the front by Brown and Jovic, they've been really dominant getting it to the circle edge, and then obviously when it started to open up, we'd let some longer balls go, but you mentioned that they're absolutely dominating that middle channel, and it's their timing of one and then the other.
And if we turn our attention to the Vixens attack, what have they been doing well, Katie?
Well, I've really liked the fact that they've been patient, they've been working the ball to circle edge. They've obviously got that firepower coming from both of their shooters. We spoke about the fact that Conwenda's more of that getting on the move, keeping those defenders accountable. But we did hear that Kira Austin was causing a little bit of that trouble, and Nicole Richardson wants Jodie Ann Ward to get up on her body a little bit more.
The other thing you can note about stats is like their accuracy. They're a little bit low. You want those goalers to be sitting up in those high 90s. They haven't had too many less attempts than the Magpies. It's just their accuracy in actually scoring on the scoreboard.
And let's have a look. Let's have a look at the match summary, because the thing that stands out to me when it comes onto our screen is more about the penalties. The Magpies have been contesting hard, but they're also racking up a lot of penalties.
They are, and I actually think that it's got potential for them to boil over a little bit here. What
does that mean?
We can see some frustration on Ash Brazz's face. We saw her talking to the umpires at the end there. We've seen that Joe Vic's got a caution from persistent contact. So if they can keep on top of their emotions, keep themselves in play and chipping away and be in control, whereas if they allow their emotions to get a little bit the better of them, I reckon the Vixens will probably sniff that they're in for a shot.
And Jodie-Ann Ward, she's been impressive. I know we keep talking her up, but the Jamaican defender manages to find a way to get her feet in front and pick up some of these balls.
And I think that you talk about the Magpies defence, they set their intent really early and they have been highly penalised, but they are still in the contest and they are getting a few more of those tips and taps. You obviously see that shutdown roll. They've been trying to stop the Vixens penetrate over that transverse line and get that depth, and they're hustling for those loose balls, the Magpies, where we're seeing a little bit more second effort from the Vixens. They were strong at the start, but I'd like to see them hunt in a few more packs, the Vixens.
Katie, what do you expect to happen in this second half? Are you still backing in your prediction?
I definitely am, yeah. I think that the emotions come to play a little bit here. So if the Vixens can stay calm and composed, I reckon they might come through, but they've got a bit of a chase on their hands, don't they?
And are you still backing into Magpies?
I'm in the hot seat right now, Bianca. I'm just going to stay as is, keep it locked in for me. Thank you.
Well, the Melbourne teams are certainly putting on a show for us. Woolworths put on their own show to find out how. Well, our Super Netball stars know their fruit and vegetables. Take a look at how they went and make sure you get involved as well.
Welcome to the Woolies Pick Fresh, Play Fresh game. What percentage of our bodies is made up of water?
Over 50.
Correct. Yes! True or false? Carbohydrates help give you energy quickly and easily. Oh! True. Yeah. Test your knowledge on the Woolworths Pick Fresh, Play Fresh Hub for your chance to win great prizes.
Welcome back to John Cain Arena, possibly the youngest Magpies fan that we have in the crowd. What a cutie. Here we are coming up for the third quarter. It's the Magpies leading the way in this Melbourne derby against the Melbourne Vixens. Katie Thwaites, what are you liking so far from the Magpies? Can they keep up this intensity for the second half?
Well, I think last week was one of the first times that I've seen a really true 60-minute performance. Last week they narrowly lost the second half, but that consistent four-quarter performance from the Magpies is what really impressed me last week. So if they can manage to do that and not have those ebbs and flows throughout the game and throughout the quarters, I think they're looking the goods.
The Vixens, some changes on court as they get away in defence, and the Magpies are in attack. Emily Mannix has moved to goalkeeper. Jovic to Ward.
Lizzie Watson getting hands in there for a turnover. We can see that she's got that centre bib on. We've got Hannah Mundy, who has taken the wing attack bib, which has shifted Maloney back to wing defence.
And we're lucky enough to have the Magpies coach joining us, Nicole Richardson. Not a bad start from your team. I don't want to jinx you, but it's been a pretty good start so far.
Yeah, look, I've been happy with what they've put out in the first half. Their centre pass conversion has been super, so we just need to make sure we can put that together in the second half.
And Richo, we saw that there was a little bit of chat going on with the umpires at half-time. What are you asking of the umpires, and what do you need some clarification on there?
Oh, look, we're just questioning the distance. They're obviously very strong on their hands. We feel at times they're obstructing a little bit to slow our play down, so just question that a little bit.
One thing we noticed in the stats was you do have a high penalty count. Does that mean you're applying more pressure and the Vixens aren't?
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't know. It's two completely different ends from the umpiring. We need to adjust to that. We need to stay in play. So hopefully we can do that. We've got some plays up our sleeve if we're getting too much whistle, so we'll see how we'll go.
Well, we're liking what we're seeing from your team so far. Thanks for joining us, Richo.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
The Vixens back into action. through Western at goal defence. You heard the changes before the interview. Mundy out on court. What can she create in attack? A huge clash between Watson and Jovic in the middle. You can see Jovic there just holding ahead. Let's look at Harvey Norman replay. Both eyes for the ball, but Jovic almost coming from behind with that inside arm rather than the outside arm.
Obviously, both attacking the ball, but it was a heavy hit coming up against two very strong players.
Austin with the settler. Three goals the difference. 4 goals the difference, I should say. Mundy to Watson, another body flying on the ground. This time it's Ash Brazel. You heard Nicole Richardson say it's very different up both ends of the court. We heard her say in a huddle before about one end is whistle happy. Can you explain to me what that means and how do you adjust as a player?
I guess it's about how much the umpires are letting go in terms of that contact, and if umpires are attempting to stay in control of a lot of that physicality that's happening, one umpire might be letting a little bit more go. So it is definitely up to the players, their responsibility to be adjusting to what's happening out there on the court. And if they can adjust and still keep applying that pressure, then they're in a really great position.
Kumwenda puts the ball down. Happy for Austin to take the shot. She balks once. She nails it on the second one.
Narrowing that gap to 3 goals.
Garbin up, over. Maddox flies, can't get it. But the Magpies are stuck.
That's intentional obstruction to delay. It's in with me. No, it's in with me. Okay, and it's a caution. Centre, you're out of play.
In the second quarter, Jovic with a caution. In the third quarter, Watson with a caution. The umpires are taking control. If you have a look at the Harvey Norman replay, this is Maddox coming flying out. We just missed it, but Jovic not given the space from Watson to stand up and take the penalty.
Quick 1-2 from Mundy. Straight back into the hands of Kira Austin. And with that penalty, obviously, the thing that they're addressing is if there is obstruction straight away, they can't get that first ball away. So that second pass, when you've got the lead coming straight at you, if there's a delay in releasing that, then it throws out the timing of the whole attack end. So Nelson with her first miss, I think, of the game. Does it count if it's a penalty? Don't
Katie, you're a shooter. You should be all over what counts or not.
I think the penalty was on the rebound, so yes, it does count.
Western goes up and over. You can't go over Jodie Ann Ward. She is going to fly as high as she can to get that ball. And Mundy sneaks through. Brazel on the ground. It's all happening here at John Cain Arena. Look at this Harvey Norman replay. Ward up, over. Thank you very much. Garbin looks straight in.
On the edge with the centre.
Another penalty.
On the edge.
The penalties are really racking up for both teams. The Vixens currently sitting on 37, the Magpies on 50. Magpies extending their lead out by 4. Biggest lead so far in this game has been 5 goals, and that's been the Magpies.
Kumwenda just with that short miss, but a great rebound from Kira Austin.
Maddie, what are you noticing?
The emotions are flying high here on the sideline. We saw Brazel slapping the floorboards earlier. And we did mention at half-time that she was over-speaking to the umpires. And, you know, it can be good to get clarity, but it also can draw more attention to you, or you're going to get less, because I haven't heard of an umpire being told how to umpire the game and giving you more freedom. So, you know, sometimes positivity goes a long way. What do you think, guys?
Oh, it's worth a try, isn't it? But Maddie, you talk about the emotions. How do you handle as a player? You've been out there on this court up against the Vixens. How do you handle it? Because there is so much more than a normal game.
Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, love lost in this game. You know, you want to get the bragging rights. It is about sometimes connecting. When it starts, the momentum shifts start to come. It's about connecting with those players beside you. As I said, centering up middle, getting a little bum tap. We obviously even saw Richardson pull Braz all of a sudden, just said, take a deep breath, Braz. We've got this. We're up. Let's not lose our cool. Let's continue to punch on and stick to the game plan.
Composure becomes a big part of this second half. One player who I think has been quite composed across the whole game has been Kira Austin. The way she plays it, the way she just, even her body language is always very calm.
Very calm. It doesn't look like anything really phases her. Her timing is impeccable. Kumwenda just slots another one there. The Vixens just letting them know we're still here.
Brown. Can they get straight into Nelson? Weston was so close. One extra step and she would have had a hand in there. But the Magpies, can they settle for one? Mundy storms through in attack, tries to push off the bodies of the Magpies, but Ash Brazel steals it away. Nicole Richardson in the background, fist pumping.
Ash Brazel has been willing that one to come, hasn't she? Stole it out of her hands. Nelson, strong take with the challenge from two defenders.
And Ash Brazel is up and about. Watch her footwork in this Harvey Norman replay. That is brilliant from the Australian Diamonds wing defence. Jovic to Garvin. Double teaming from the Vixens against Shimona Nelson.
Just working that timing for the goal attack entry. The two Vixens defenders camping back on the big target, the threat under the post.
One thing we haven't touched on is the Sophie Garvin v Kira Austin, the two goal attacks out on court, both vying for a position in that Diamonds team come the World Cup. Is there room for both of them, Katie?
I would say yes, because in Diamonds colours, I would say that Sophie Garvin is probably pulling on a gold shooter bib, so potentially they're not competing, they're actually filling different positions and different roles. Beautiful triangle there from the Vixens and just overcooked the pass.
Too much on it. And Jodie-Ann Ward went down quickly, but she is smiling. She's just walking it out. A lot of sweat on the court that needs to be mopped up.
I sense a little bit of a momentum change as we just watched the Harvey Norman replay there. A little bit of a momentum shift. We can see Mentor, the season campaigner, just taking a little bit of a sting out of the game, taking her time.
6 goals, the difference.
Magpies managed to wrestle a little bit of that control back from the frantic nature that they had before.
Oh,
Weston!
There she goes. She's been wearing Sophie Garvin down, waiting for the opportunity. Can the Vixens capitalise? Mundy stands strong against a high-flying Brazel. Bit of hesitation, but they find Kumwenda. Back out they go.
Beautiful work to find Austin under the post there, but I would love to see Kumwenda just turn and shoot that ball in the first instance. She was well within her own range.
The ball's on the ground. Maloney diving all over it. The Vixens captain will do anything to get control and get possession. Now, you did hear in the background the siren. The Power 5 is now in play. 5 goals, the difference. Watch out for Sophie Garvin. She is 3 from 4 at 75% when she's in the Suncorp Super Shot zone. Here she goes. Can she make it 4? A miss. Maloney forces the turnover. And the Vixens are away. Trying to use their speed. Brazel trying to interrupt it, slow them down. Trying to find an option. The Magpies sitting in front. Their box defence in play. Edge of the circle. Can Kumwenda take it?
Just opting for the one. It was a beautiful quick transition, wasn't it? And then just the patience to find their shooters open. That box defence from the Collingwood Magpies. The 4 of them really working together, and we see, I don't know if that was a short pass or a held ball.
It was a short pass. As Brazel takes the Magpies down court. Jovic all on her own. She wants the ball over. Gets it forward. Garvin up, over. Nelson sinks 1. 32 goals at 97% for Shimona Nelson. Let's go over to Maddie.
Interesting to see both defence ends, how they work this Power 5. You see the Magpies, as you said, just sitting in the 2-point zone. And Emily Mannix as well, sitting high, trying to force that feed over. They don't mind to concede the 1 point. They really want to nullify the 2-point option. So just watch the Magpies defenders as it comes down court here. Just sitting in the zone, even the middies sitting back into that space, just absolutely squishing them in or giving them the 1. They're not afraid of that.
And we've often seen that from the Vixens. They don't often take the 2. They will if they need to. But quite often for the Vixens, they're happy to play it around and get the space for the 1. Austin. Cross to Mundy. We talk about 2. Ward is going to get a piece of it. High flying in the air.
With contact coming from Kumwenda in the jostle for the rebound position.
Watch the Harvey Norman replay here as Ward times it to perfection. Interrupts the trajectory of the shot. Not easy to do, but the Jamaicans continue to show us how. Ward to Brown. Magpies struggling to get momentum and to push forward. Up. Nelson steps in. She's double defended on the shot.
Great patience shown there from the Magpies just to work that ball around. The Vixens was relentless defence for them to just take their time, pick the hole as to when they could penetrate down the court.
Austin, we know she can get intercepts. She tries her hardest to pull that in. It was a deflection and nearly a pickup. The Magpies, though, they get another chance. Across court, and Watson says, I want in on all the action. The urgency, the intensity, you can really see the Vixens are trying to drive that. The Magpies are trying to calm everything down.
Nelson, ever so reliable under that post.
The Magpies extend their lead out. They're now out by 6. Just under, or just over 30 seconds in this final quarter. In the 3rd quarter, before we get to the final quarter. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. 5 goals, the difference. Vixens. They need to take charge. The Magpies, they want to continue on their way.
Emily Mannix just sitting off the body here, allowing herself a bit of a run up at that high ball she knows is coming. And a final goal just to extend the lead.
35 goals to Shimona Nelson, 47 goals to the Magpies. There's 4 seconds on the clock. Nicole Richardson is yelling out orders from the coach's box. The teams want to get on with it. Can Mundy go straight in, up, over the top? There's too much on it. Mentor decides to get some stats to her name. It's the Magpies here at John Cain Arena, leading the charge by 6. It's going to be an epic final quarter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right here on Fox Netball.
Wow, it is loud in here, and I'm with Steve Simons. He is the coach of the AFLW Collingwood team. How good is it to see the women in the black and white doing so well out here today?
It's fantastic. We've got a very close-knit club, and we have the motto of being side by side, so it's great to be out here supporting our netballs, and they're going really well at the moment.
You haven't finalised your list. The draft's coming up. You must be a busy man at the moment.
Yeah, busy times for us. Another couple of weeks, got the draft, got 2 more spots to fill, so looking forward to see what talent's out there.
Well, all the very best. I know you're very busy. Go and enjoy this, and go Pies.
Thank you. Go Pies.
Great work. Maddish is working hard on the sidelines.
How good is it to see so many people in the house?
It's the final quarter here at John Cain Arena. It's the Melbourne Derby. So far, the Magpies, they've managed to win every quarter we have seen. They lead by 6 against the Vixens. But you can't discount the Vixens. You can never discount the Vixens. How are they going to come back in this final quarter? What do they need to do, Katie?
Well, in this final Origin, out of this quarter time break, the Origin Energy quarter time break, the Vixens are really going to need to put their foot down. They need to turn over some ball, but convert that turnover ball that they're looking to get. But the Magpies may very well have something else to say about it.
15 minutes of action left on the clock. Brazel, sneaky pass to Brown on the sideline and straight in and over. Nelson starts the 4th quarter exactly how she finished. Weston, cross court to Watson. Kumwenda, she's out. The moving circle is in play for the Vixens.
And a beautiful triangle. Lizzie Watson finding Hannah Mundy at that top of the circle just opens up a whole nother angle to be able to access your shooters rather than being stuck on that baseline.
When we look at the miss and net points, leading all the way for the Magpies, 65.5 for Kelsey Brown. Sorry, she's gone up to 69 now. And Garvin and Nelson not far behind her. Watson Maloney, the mid-quarters for the Vixens, rounding out the top 5. Kumwenda, she puts it back into play. What have you made of Hannah Mundy on at wing attack?
I think she's doing a wealth of work trying to get that ball down. Ash Braz is obviously fired up. She's having a hard run at every ball that Hannah Mundy is working for. I just love what Hannah Mundy offers in terms of finding that feed. She's got such a natural flair to opening up the shooters in that space. She offers something different to a Lizzie Watson in that wing attack, in that she creates and gets so much depth in that attack end.
And Mundy, she's a young player, but she's gaining experience, 21 years old. She's strong. She really brings this sense of strength, and we've seen Brazel dominate that 3rd quarter. But what can Mundy do in the 4th? Bodies flying everywhere. Everybody wants hand on ball, and Ward just steps in and picks it up off the ground. Garvin steps on, looks like she's off balance, but Nelson opens up. The timing was spot on. Have a look at this. Kwenda puts it down. Ward is not even close and steps across. The Jamaican, she is ball hungry. And so is their shooter down the other end. 97% shooting from Shimona. Good attempt from Emily Mannix to have a go at the feed as opposed to trying to get the ball in the air off Nelson.
Well, especially when you, as she falls down out of play, just off camera. Sometimes you've got to mix it up. You've got to put some doubt into those feeders' minds as well. Maybe get that ball lifted that little bit extra.
Contact, go defense, outside.
Just do it.
Hold time.
Just listening to the umpires.
Just like this
More
area
mopping
here.
up of the court. They want to make sure this surface is perfect for the players to play on.
Just wait.
There's a lot of sweat going on out
A
there,
lot of
isn't
sweat.
there? A lot of hard work.
It's been an intense game. Both teams have been at it
Step back.
for 50 minutes. And it's a huge difference now. The Vixens are creeping back, but the Magpies, they're really dominating.
You get the sense that they've kind of regained that momentum, that control.
Up to Nelson. You can see the smiles, the excitement from the ladies in the black and white. That was a big difference I noticed in round one, is just the energy coming from the Magpies. It's this aura of positivity, which you haven't often seen. Ward! Hands in the air. Mentor was ready. Mentor was backing her up. Austin calmly sneaks through, slots that one. Have a look at this. Harvey Norman replay, and Ward tries to get it back to her defensive teammate.
What a great angle there too. You can see that the two Collingwood defenders just sitting off a little bit, allowing that vision, allowing that ball to go and then taking it away.
Hands over from Weston, blocks the pass.
Outside, just outside.
Throw in. Brown. Similar play that we often see between Brown and Nelson. The Magpies happy to take it slowly. They're not rushing. For one. Nine goals the difference here at John Cain Arena. Kelsey Brown in the background. She had the mop in hand, cleaning the floorboards. Weston goes long to Kwenda.
What a bullet pass.
The connection, so strong. It was so open and they found it. The Vixens bring the score back in. It's an overload centre pass. Brazel flies down. Magpies up and over. What else can you try if you're the Vixens to stop that connection between Brown and Nelson?
Well, I feel like the Vixens have been mixing it up. They've been trying, as Austin just threads a needle to Mundy at the top of the circle. The Vixens have been trying that sitting back 2-on-1, having a run at that ball coming in, but I think to try and clog up this transverse line, get the Magpies as high into that centre third as possible and delay.
Let's go across to Maddie.
I'm quite interested to see in these final 9 minutes that each team has about 6 out of their starting 7, or their 7 at the moment, on the court international. So when it comes to these clutch moments, who's going to stand up? Who's going to really put those strategies that they've been working at in training into place? Who's going to have that cool and calm head? So both teams have the players to be able to do it. Can the Magpies forge ahead, or are the Vixens going to pull it back?
Austin. Weston, back to Austin. Diamond's teammates. Up to Maui Kwenda. You talk about internationals. She is the Malawi queen. Mentor. to Ward. Look at the Harvey Norman replay here. Mentor, we haven't spoken a lot about Jiva Mentor, but she's been rock solid in defence.
Little disruption from the Vixens, but you can sense Collingwood just taking their time, setting these penalties. They feel like they're in control. No need to rush. Joe Weston comes up with a rebound.
Mannix. Can the Vixens turn this over onto a score? Watson, Austin. They take their time. Smart play from the Vixens. Is there a danger of playing it around too much?
Well, there's gonna come a point where they're gonna need to start going for some of the shots, and we'll probably see that 2-point shot come into play. But when you've got a deficit like this, you need to try and catch it up. So yes, especially when you've got defenders that are picking off balls.
7 goals here in Melbourne.
Playing
this
direct
local derby.
and taking your chances when you get them.
So we've got 2 minutes to go until the Power 5. And you think we'll see the Vixens taking the shots more commonly through Kira Austin. Garvin, also a specialist when it comes to 2. For whichever team takes this out, Katie, what does it mean? What kind of a confidence boost does it give you?
I think it really says, as we see Jovic,
ruthless, relentless.
go hard for that contest with Liz Watson. Mott comes out again. As we look at the Harvey Norman replay.
Just both players desperate to secure possession.
Not giving an inch.
Show no mercy. Austin, Watson. 7 goals the difference. Can they make it 6? They can.
Let's not forget an 11-goal deficit got eaten up in the final quarter of the previous game today. So potentially a 6th goal. It is definitely possible.
Keep an eye on Kelsey Brown. I believe she's had some pickle juice on the side. It's a known cramp cure, isn't it?
Apparently. I don't think people are drinking it for the taste.
No. It's a 7-goal difference to the Magpies. It's 9 goals apiece in the 4th quarter. Watson, Kelsey Brown back on the sideline to get another sip of the pickle juice. You can just see her in the background on your screen. She's throwing it back to the bench. Let's see how she goes. She's firing. She doesn't seem hesitant. Weston comes through with a deflection. Flying a bit late. So Magpies sink 1. The Power 5 means we now have 2 in play. Suncorp Super Shot with $100 for each Super Shot being donated to the Confident Girls Foundation. All thanks to Suncorp. Kawenda for 2. Double defended, blocked by Ward, but it's a contact call. And it's a Suncorp Super Shot from Maui Kawenda. You said they were going to bring it out, and they did.
You can feel the intensity lift.
5 goals the difference. Garvin jumps from off court. It's a throw in for the Vixens. Weston looks long, goes short. Austin wants Mundy forward. Watson goes long over the top of Mentor. Precision passing from Liz Watson.
Securing that 1-point shot, obviously with a centre pass to follow.
And it's absolutely no surprise to anyone here at John Cain Arena that the Magpies have called a HCF tactical timeout. It's 4 goals the difference. The pressure's on. Anything can happen. Let's take a listen into the Magpies camp.
Okay. Keep making sure we're definite in attack. If we've got someone pulling away for depth to try and drag defenders, we need someone punching back up. Yeah? We want to keep progressing the ball forward. We need our back line there to reset if we need to reset, and we go again. Okay? We play to our tempo. If we can starve the ball a little bit, we starve the ball a little bit. All hands on deck down here. Yeah? So just make sure we got good separation. Maybe keep working some screens and things like that. Yep. Okay, so I want you got 3.5 minutes to run hard, both in attack and defence, but control. Yeah? We're not forced to take it to play it, keep the scoreboard ticking. So fun.
Oi, this is why we play netball, yeah? It's coming back. We don't need to play frantic because the crowd's getting up or they're shooting the truth. We play our way. The game plan's working here. We stick to it. We don't save the game. We win the game.
Ash Brazel, the captain of the Magpies, taking charge in the HCF tactical timeout. Let's go across to Maddie. What's happening in the Vixens camp?
Well, the Vixens, they were talking about into defence. They want to dictate early, really force them into some areas and then come off and fly. They need to get this game ball to get them back into the game. And then Kira Austin also looked at Coach McInnes and said, do I have the licence to shoot? And she said, yes, go for it. Absolutely. You get in there, we need you to put them up.
Don't you love it when the coach gives you the licence to do that? Kumwenda, you can see Austin being double-teamed by the Magpies defenders. They know she wants to, but doesn't matter because Kumwenda nails it.
Stepping up, how hard is that when you've got 2 that are willing to step up and take that to defend?
2 super shots to Kumwenda so far.
Do you know what I loved about that huddle was Ash Braz saying, don't save the game, win the game. They're not wanting to play safe. They want to attack it and take it on. And we saw that last week, the exciting brand that they're playing.
3 goals, the difference. 3 minutes to play. The Vixens, they need to catch up. They are starting to catch up. Watson to Mundy. The movement in attack.
You can see the attention on Kira Austin, even the centre, Molly Jovic.
Here she goes. Right, rolls out. And the Magpies gain possession. It's been taken back to Mentor.
Hugely important rebound there from Mentor. And the penalty just means that they can starve the Vixens of that ball. Austin pleading, wanting it so much to be their throw-in.
Huge penalty count, and that is a held ball from the Magpies. And in the perfect position for the Vixens to make it count on the scoreboard. What can they do? Kumwenda steps back with the hot hands. The Suncorp super shot. The Vixens, they're back. 1 goal, the difference. We have another nail biter on our hands. What a round 2 of action it's been. Kumwenda for 1. Scores are even. Both teams are standing up. Both teams are wanting a timeout. And the Magpies get their way. It's a HCF tactical timeout called by Nicole Richardson. They've already had one this quarter.
Little bit of confusion.
Brown, they have to play on. They can't have their timeout. Scores are even. Long ball, Nelson.
Beautiful vision from Ash Braz there. The Vixens defence out hunting, leaving Nelson.
Look at this ball from Ash Brazel. She knew Nelson was ready. Maloney to Weston. 1 goal the difference, just over a minute to play.
Feeling the pressure, this is where the tactics all come out. Do you take for two.
The movement, it's slowing down.
Highway over the top. Magpies allowing the one. Magpies have got control of the ball here. 45 seconds. Vixens must turn the ball over. Magpies must score. The players can't even hear what the umpires are saying. It is so loud at John Cain Arena.
60 goals apiece. 30 seconds on the clock. Remember, if this game is a draw, we will have 5 minutes of extra time. Nelson for one. The players, they're all screaming. They want the centre pass. Austin to Weston.
Liz Watson with the ball in her hands. A penalty on the circle edge.
7 seconds. It's a contact call against Jodie Ann Ward.
It's going to come down to the final shot here, Bianca. It's in the two-point zone.
Kawanda. You can see she's taking her time. She steps back. The defence is everyone. Listen to the crowd.
The Vixens have stolen that win after the final siren.
Scenes everywhere. Take a bow, Kawanda.
3 super shots in the final quarter.
Let's take a look at this replay. Look at the defence all over. It was 3-on-1 and Kawanda nailed her 4th Suncorp super shot for the game. What a brilliant performance from the Melbourne Vixens.
And Simone McInnes on the sideline just did not quite the chainsaw that we saw on the sidelines. 2 fist pumps though. I don't think the Vixens can believe it.
And look at their faces. Like, you can see they are shocked they got there in the end, but they had the belief they could do it, and no doubt a very disappointed Magpies. They were in control all game.
The entire game.
You can never discount the experience of a lineup like the Melbourne Vixens. And, you know, it was a huge turnaround. It was a 7-goal difference in that final quarter for the Melbourne Vixens. Let's get down to Maddie with our player of the match.
I'm here with the queen of the super shot, Kawanda. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, I'm feeling good. That was tough there, and I'm just proud of the girls, how they put the fight today.
I mean, we heard Simone McInnes say we've got to treasure the ball, but I give you a license to shoot. How'd you feel on that 2-point shot to seal the deal?
Yeah, I was like, this is the last score, and we are losing by 7. I just need to take it, and keeper just backed me up, so that was awesome.
And how is this? I know the crowd is so loud. It must be good to have your first win in 2023.
Yeah, it's great. After losing last week, we were very disappointed, but now we just come back on and win, so that's good for the season.
Well, all the very best, and congratulations on being the 2-point superstar.
Thank you so much.
Back to you, Bianca.
Well, Katie, look at the Vixens celebrating that incredible win. They came from behind. They nailed it when it really counts. Let's take a look at the match summary, because where did they actually do it? How? What was the difference in the end?
Well, we've spoken about the fact that Magpies' shooting accuracy was better than the Vixens. Penalties for the Magpies, that's obviously something that they're probably going to need to look at addressing, because it did cause a lot of frustration for them. Deflections, the Vixens had more deflections there, a couple more pickups. So it's, you know, a coin toss in the end, isn't it? Come down to the final roll of the dice at the end.
And what an action-packed weekend it's been. The Firebirds and the Lightning started off with the Lightning getting the win. Then it was the power outage, the draw. Then a huge game, the West Coast Fever getting up by 1 and the Vixens getting up by 1. We're now going to go straight to Hannah and the team for Pivot to wrap up all the weekend's action. Thanks for joining us right here at John Cain Arena. What a game it was.